Hi, welcome back to the shop. Well, today we're going to revisit one of our previous projects. This is the router table that I've made, and I've had a chance to use it for several months now and done a variety of operations on it, including making some moldings, raising some panels, cutting some joinery, those types of things. So I thought I'd have a chance to come back and talk to you a little bit about it. I've gotten a couple emails of people kind of questioning how it turned out. The first thing I'd like to say is that basically the top and the router lift were both made by Woodpecker, and those are really nice. I really enjoy them. If I had any complaint to say, it would be that the inserts that come with the Woodpecker is made out of a high density plastic, and it just doesn't seem to be holding up very well. After running some stock over it, I've noticed it's got some grooves in it. My understanding is that they originally made some anodized aluminum versions of these inserts, but they stopped making them because it was cost prohibitive. However, there might be still a few sets out there available on the internet, so I will be out searching for those as the budget allows. The only problem that I'm having with the router table, though, as you recall, we put in a mobile base, and that mobile base was kind of a pneumatic arrangement that I was experimenting with, where I basically just used some inner tubes and ran some piping up and was able to inflate the inner tubes that would raise the whole router table up, and I could move it around. That part works fine. The big issue that I have is that the placement of the inner tubes is just too far back with the toe kick and everything. Let me show you what I mean. So if you recall from the original router table build, I ran some tubing up from the bottom into the router compartment, and all I have to do is plug in my air hose, and then I have a little ball valve I can open up, and it will inflate the inner tubes and lift the router table up. And you don't have to put that much air in it to get it to lift. The problem that you can see here, let me remove this now, that you can see here is that it does tip forward, and that's because there's a lot of weight in the front, and the inner tubes are actually set back farther. Now the big problem comes in this one drawer where I keep my routers, that's just so heavy that it wants to open up and slide out. I've done a temporary fix on that by just using a child lock on here that keeps it from going out too far, and I could push it around the shop as I needed. But I want to do a more permanent fix so I don't have other drawers opening up on me, as you can see. So let me go ahead and let the air out, and then we'll discuss what we're going to do to fix the problem. Well, as you can see, I've gone ahead, pulled out the drawers, taken off the toe kick, and then removed the inner tubes or pneumatic system. So what the plan is that I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole on the back on each side of the router table underneath the drawer, where I can drop in a carriage bolt that will go all the way down through, and I've marked a corresponding hole in the bottom board. And then what I can do when I drop that bolt down is I'll be able to put a nut on that, and I can tighten that nut up, and it will restrict the amount that the back end can rise, allowing the majority of the air or more air pressure to go to the front, lifting that up and hopefully keeping the router table level. In order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and drill a 3/8 hole in the back on each side, and I'm actually going to drill a 1-inch hole through the floorboard, just to allow some slop and for the base to move around a little bit if it needs to. Now that the holes have been drilled, all we have to do is slide it back in place and insert the bolts into the holes. And now I'm going to go around the back side and attach the nuts and washers to the bottom. I went ahead and put the nuts on the carriage bolts in the back, leaving about 1 inch of play. I also put a jam nut on there just to keep it from accidentally backing off and having a problem in the future. So let's go ahead, put some air in it, and see what it will do now. Okay. So you can see it's raised up now, and it's actually tilting a little bit back, but that's okay. I could easily move it around. And now this drawer here that was falling out on me, even when fully extended, it doesn't even make the router table tip forward. So I probably have a little too much air in it right now, but this kind of shows you that, that this will work just fine. Now I can easily just move it around wherever I need to put it. Flip the lever and it will drop down into a nice level solid working position. Well, now that I made these last couple of fixes and it looks like everything is going to work out just fine, I really like this router table even more than I did when I built it originally. This is all I have time for this week, but as usual, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to email me at andrew@thelevelplumbandsquare.com. Until next time, enjoy your day.